Here's everything nobody tells you about what actually happens after you lose the weight. Hey guys, what's up? I'm Leah, and if you're new here, I've lost 140 pounds and gone from this to this. So I know a thing or two about weight loss and what actually happens when you've reached your goals. So let's dive into both the physical and mental aftermath of losing over 100 pounds. We're gonna start off with physical and jump into what some people would call the negatives. And one of the questions I get the most often. Rose in the Discord asked, how did you deal with loose skin and do you have any tips? So you might see in my comments when someone asks me if I have loose skin, I pretty much always say no. And I have actually been accused of lying about not having loose skin, which I don't know why I would do that. But the truth is I don't really deal with a lot of loose skin. I'll show on screen my arms, you can definitely see stretch marks across my entire body, especially on my arms, my stomach, near my chest, on my legs. But you'll see on my arms, I always worried that I was gonna have a lot of loose skin, but I didn't really end up with any. What I kind of have now is just the fat that you normally have there. And the reason that I know this isn't loose skin is because my boyfriend, who has been lean his entire life, has the same thing. And when we're talking about loose skin, I always reference this image of loose skin versus fat. I don't really have skin that you can pinch like that. That is just this layer. Any excess I feel I have still has an underlying layer of fat. I'm at a pretty low weight, but I still have fat in that lower pouch area. You can see here. I will say I haven't gotten lean enough to have any lower ab definition. And so there's absolutely a chance that I'll lose that fat and have a layer of loose skin there. But even if that were to happen, it's just not a significant amount of loose skin. A lot of you guys have asked how I've had no or minimal loose skin. All I can say is I lost the weight at a slow pace, so 0.5 to 2 pounds per week. I strength trained the entire time so that I would retain muscle. And I'm in my 20s, and age and genetics play a huge role when it comes to skin elasticity. You'll see that I have significant stretch marks, but also I'm just not bothered by them. I don't have any really dark stretch marks. Again, this is another thing, it's just genetics. Everyone looks different, but I've never had a problem with stretch marks. I've had stretch marks ever since I was a teenager and I went through puberty. I'm Latina, my curves started coming in. Guys, I got stretch marks pretty immediately. And my family would tell me, oh, use this moisturizer, oh, do this, do that, so you can minimize your stretch marks. And I never did it because I genuinely just never cared. So even throughout my weight loss journey, I really don't care about my stretch marks that much. They can be really obvious in certain types of lighting, but in my day-to-day, they're just not that noticeable to me. And I just don't really care. All right, the next negative, this is something that does make me a little bit sad. I have nothing going on in the chest area anymore. Now listen, I never ever had a large chest. Despite my biggest desires, I've always been part of the itty bitty committee, okay? But when I was bigger, I actually had cleavage, or at least I could wear a push-up bra that would, give me some cleavage. And now that's not happening. There is no push-up bra that is making me have anything going on. Do I miss it enough that I regret losing the weight? Of course not. But I definitely wish I had a little bit more going on. But I will say that I actually like how they sit better now than I did then. I feel I'm way more comfortable going braless. I pretty much never wear a bra unless I absolutely have to. And I just naturally how they sit better. If you guys are wondering, how can I reduce the chance of that happening? You can't, girl, because they're made of fat. So your body, unfortunately, you don't get to decide where your body takes the fat from. All right. So it could be there. You never know. Like I said, we all store fat differently, but my girls are pretty much gone. All right. No cherries from me. On to some positives. My face changed so much. I'll put on the screen, I cannot even believe the change in my face, even in my eyelids. It's so interesting to see. I always felt so bloated before. This is one of the best changes for me is I just absolutely love looking at my face now. I just I'm really liking how it looks, but kind of unexpected. I don't know, it makes sense, of course, that you lose the weight in your face, but I would mainly think about my chin area than my actual face area, but my actual face looks so different. Also, I mean, this is kind of obvious, but how clothes fit me now, it's so much easier to get dressed. And this isn't to say that I never run into situations where I don't like how my clothes are fitting, but it happens way less frequently. I mean, it just feels so nice to be able to feel I can just throw on some clothes and feel better in them. One other interesting thing I will say is when I was bigger, I would want to wear tighter clothes more often, which feels you would want the opposite. But I felt like I needed to show off like the hourglass figure that I had, like, because that was like the thing that made my body look good. Whereas now, like, even though like I still kind of have the same shape, I like love wearing oversized clothes. And I feel like, I don't know, in a way, like I feel like I almost overcompensate with tighter clothes. Like, I don't really know how that works because I feel like most people would be more uncomfortable. But anyways, that's just like an interesting tidbit. Like, I feel like I'm more comfortable wearing oversized clothes than I was when I was bigger. Like, what? Now let's get into the mental side of things, and we'll start off with the negatives there. I feel like I've experienced a bit of paranoia when it comes to gaining any weight again. I think that this is natural to come like after losing a significant amount of weight and putting so much effort in. Like, the worst thing to think about is, oh my God, you put in all this effort and then you gain it all back. Because I think also on our journeys, we've all been in a place where we've put in effort, we've lost weight, and then we've gained a significant amount back. I know I've been there. So now being 140 pounds down, like the idea of gaining all of that back is really scary to me. It's not like in a toxic, unhealthy way where I'm constantly thinking about it. But like, for example, I've recently gone into maintenance. So I'm eating my maintenance calories, not trying to gain, not trying to lose weight. And I've even considered going like on a lean bulk. So a slight calorie surplus with the focus of gaining muscle. And that is honestly scary to me because I'm like, oh, gaining weight intentionally, like that low-key freaks me out a little bit. You don't have to bulk to gain muscle. Like, you can totally do that on maintenance. But I honestly think mentally it's something that I might consider doing just to like prove to myself that gaining weight is not this scary thing. And as long as we're intentional about our goals, and this is something like, you know, we're still intentional about how we eat and how we train, it doesn't have to be like this big bad monster or anything. So I think I might even just do it like as a psychological exercise on top of course, you know, it's nice to kind of use that to build muscle. But I'll let you guys know if I do that, and I will absolutely document it for sure. And another question I get pretty often, this one from Clover in our accountability group: do people treat you differently now that you've lost weight? Yes, definitely. I mean, I feel like people are way more willing to help me. And you know who treats me the most different? Is men. Shocker, not really. All right. Like, I think this just kind of comes with being more conventionally attractive. And I'm saying conventionally attractive, guys. I think, you know, unfortunately, we live in a world where people often treat people with smaller bodies better. And how do I feel about that? It's weird. And it honestly makes me lose respect for people that I knew previously that do give me the time of day now. And trust me, I notice. I always notice, especially like going out. Like, I travel to like conventions like VidCon and TwitchCon for work a lot, and I talk to a bunch of different people, and I see a lot of like the same people at each of these. And I will notice if there's people that like wouldn't have batted an eye at me before that give me attention now, and it's like, okay, bro, like, okay. So yeah, in a ways it's a positive because, you know, it's great when people treat you nicer, but it does make you realize how superficial some people are. But if anything, I honestly think it's like a blessing because, you know, you kind of get to see people for who they truly are. And then my next one also kind of ties into a question from Minnie in our accountability group, which is, at what point did it click for you that this is a lifestyle and not just a journey anymore? And when did you start to enjoy the process? I learned that you're never really finished. And I have this under a negative because it's just kind of a hard realization to make. Like, I got to my goal weight, which was 165 pounds. I'll talk about this in my fitness journey video that I'm gonna post next week, where I go over my entire journey. But that's kind of what I remembered weighing in at before I gained a significant amount of weight. And I was like, oh, let me just get to that weight. And then like, oh, perfect. I'll be perfect. I'll get to that weight and everything. I'll be happy. What's that, like, you know, from Wicked, where she's like, and so it'll be for the rest of my life, and I want nothing else till I die. Like, that was me. I was like, I want nothing else till I die. Like, that's it. That's all I want. And then you got to the 165. And I'm like, shit, like, it's not over. Like, mind you, my goal was to have abs, and I'm at 165, and girl, the abs were not found. The abs were not found. I actually continued for a while after that. I'm at 135 now, which is the lightest that I want to be, honestly. Like, I could get lighter and still be within the healthy range for my height of 5'8", but that's just not something I want. Like, my goal now is not to be a specific weight. I just want to be like really strong and look really fit and look like I go to the gym. Like, I want to look like I'm training and I'm strong. And there are girls that are my height and weigh 165 pounds and look way more jacked, way leaner than me. They look leaner. They look like they have less body fat than me, but they weigh more. And that's because they have more muscle. So that's why I've really shifted my focus into getting stronger, because I don't want to keep trying to lose weight and just be skinny. Like, I want to be strong and built and have muscle and be toned. And also, like, then I can have that leaner look and not have to eat extremely little. Like, I can have that leaner look, but I'll weigh more. And so my maintenance calories will be higher. And so that's what I'm striving towards now. But yeah, I mean, that was just a tough part of kind of hitting the goal, I just realized like there's no such thing as like hitting a goal. Like this is a lifestyle change. Don't be discouraged. Like it gets so much easier. I promise you it gets so much easier. So while like you don't just check off a box and you're done, it is so much easier to maintain once you've established the habits throughout your journey. And then another kind of weird negative for me, but it's also kind of a positive, is now I'm sharing my journey very publicly. There are a lot of you watching, which is so exciting and so cool. But it also kind of gives me a strong desire to share parts of my journey that are like very vulnerable and maybe I wouldn't really want to share publicly, because like I don't really want public scrutiny for every decision I've ever made, everything I've ever done, all the form on all of my exercises. Like, do I want to know what everyone thinks about everything about my fitness journey? Like, not really, but also to me, it's worth it. Like, if I can be for you someone that you look to and you feel is being like fully honest and showing you the parts of their life that no one would really want to, then like that's worth it to me, because like I feel like that would have been so helpful for me on my journey. Like I love a lot of fitness creators, but I also feel like a lot of them just seem like everything was so perfect and they had a fitness journey, but it kind of seems so simple and easy. So I don't know. I hope I can be that for you guys. And like I said, I'm going to be posting a video next week going over my entire fitness journey and answering even more of your guys' questions. And that's going to be a real vulnerable video for me, because there's a lot to dive into, and my fitness journey was far from normal, I would say. Now going into the positives, because these are honestly the biggest parts for me. One of the biggest things is that I am not tired all the time anymore. Now I know that when it comes to weight loss, you like will sleep better the like less that you weigh. Like that's just the science that can happen. So I think I get a much better sleep. And I also had struggled with PCOS fatigue. So like I said, I'll get into that in next week's video, but it's so nice to not be absolutely exhausted all of the time anymore. And that's something that I feel like has come with both my weight loss and my training. Like I feel like my energy levels have gone up so much. And also along with that, mental clarity. Like I feel it especially when I go to the gym, but just in general, I think I'm able to think better. I think I'm just like able to, I don't know, like everything just feels so much clearer. And especially when I go to the gym, like I just feel like I have insane mental clarity. I also think I have an improved relationship with food. I never felt like I had a really bad relationship with food, but I feel like I'm at a point where I really view food as fuel. And this isn't in like a toxic way where it's like, I don't view food for enjoyment either, because I still eat delicious things. You guys have seen some of the meals I eat, all right? Like I love some good flavor, but I'm like really conscious in a healthy way about what I put into my body. Like I think that there's nothing wrong with thinking about the things we're putting into our body. Like think about if you had a pet, right? Like you might want to go for like a higher quality food for your pet. Like you care about them. You want them to be eating good. You want them to be healthy. Like, you know, treat yourself that same way. If I'm gonna splurge, like, you know, and go out to eat, like I just went out and got some delicious pasta yesterday, like earlier in the day, I'll make like a kind of like a healthier, more balanced choice. Like I'm considering what I'm putting in my body to fuel my body, what I'm eating before a workout so that I have enough fuel. It's not just about like restricting. It's not about like what I can't eat. It's about fueling my body properly and giving myself nice and nourishing foods that I know will make me feel good. And this is the biggest one for me, is I actually feel like my body is mine again. When I gained a lot of the weight, I gained it pretty rapidly, and I just really had felt like I lost myself and I had lost like control over my own body. Like I felt my own body was fighting against me. And I feel like throughout this journey, it feels like I've been able to take back control over my body and educate myself on the decisions that I make and how they impact my body. With working out and building muscle, like I know what actions I can take to get my body to the place I want it to be at. And therefore, I feel like I have full ownership over my body in a way that I really, really felt like I just completely lost control of. And that was one of the worst parts of being at my heaviest, is just feeling like I had no control at all. And I feel like there is such power in taking that control back and being on this journey. Like what a beautiful thing that we get to take the wheel and make decisions for ourselves to get ourselves to where we want to be. And another thing, like this is just proof to me that I can do something that's hard, that takes significant consistency and investment. Like that's one of the reasons I started posting this YouTube channel, because I'm like, girl, if we can lose 140 pounds, we can post on YouTube once a week. Like it just feels like, yeah, I can do literally anything. It's like, yeah, like that's hard, but you know what's harder? Losing 140 pounds. Like, girl, that's way harder. And I just feel like my body is like this physical manifestation of what I am capable of if I really lock in and commit to something that I want to do. Like I am capable of doing anything. Like, that's genuinely how I feel. Let me know if you guys have any questions, if there's anything I didn't cover in the comments below. Like I said, I'm going to be posting a video next week going over my entire fitness journey front to back. So if you have any questions that I can include in there, feel free to drop them in the comments. Happy to answer anything that I can. If you don't follow me over on my short form platforms, definitely do. I post on Instagram and TikTok pretty much daily. So if you're looking for a daily dose of Leah, you can get her. Like I said, I'll link the accountability group in the description below, and make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, because girl, you made it this far. Let me know if there's any videos you'd like to see next, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.